Do you think over the next 5 years, our cities will be economically more inclusive or less inclusive?
We've had to meander very tough economic times. And unfortunately, and maybe fortunately, our cities have actually become the sites for economic agency, for resilience and innovation. Because whether we like it or not, elements that seem less sophisticated, such as our informal economies, have had individuals take on an element of economic agency and resilience and innovation that has not been planned for, that can also at times not be controlled, but has yielded to the sustainability and the sustenance of millions of South Africans, the countrywide over. So I would have to say that because of the nature of our people, who I've kept emphasizing are the most resilient and the most agile in their way upon which that they're not waiting for handouts, but they're trying to make a means to an end. Our cities are probably the most transformed. What we now need to merge is an element upon which we embrace this element of informality. And when I say informality, in no way do I mean, and I don't want individuals to ever think that the informal economy is not organized, is not complex, is not sophisticated, because those are some of the most sophisticated networks that far outbid some of the more corporate and conglomerates that we are so used to. And so I feel that transformation has transpired. It's inclusion that needs to transpire in the same length and breadth. So there still, unfortunately, are tensions between formal business and informal, and unfortunately also in our rules and regulations, especially when it pertains to our cities, planning, and the spaces and how it is that we foster for this hybridization to transpire. And I feel that that is what we need to foster more. Because unfortunately, what has been intrinsic in South Africa is that we have allocated areas according to your economic muscle. And this has not allowed for us to embrace the vibrancy and the agency that is of a robust economy that is transpiring. And so whether we are looking at housing provision, for example, we need to have more inclusionary housing across the board. Otherwise, we will still be separating the haves from the have-nots. And so I think this has to be a high policy imperative, not just for our city governments, but also for our national and provincial, to ensure that we are fostering and ensuring that inclusion transpires across the board, whether it is from an economic perspective, like I'd spoken, from our informal economies, our township economies, to ensure that there's agency there, to how it is that we are ensuring that our children and the level of education is also inclusive in terms of a hybridization of individuals coming from different areas. Also to the element of job creation and where it is that we place our firms. We need to look at, for example, our spatial planning form and to say, why is it that we cannot rezone areas that are closer to the areas the majority of our population live, still in our township and informal community areas, to have industry place itself there because there is a pool of labor. We really need to be more innovative in terms of what it is that we can change within our policy prescripts to enable for more inclusion to transpire. And so transformation in the next 5 years must occur, and unfortunately is occurring with or without the policy imperatives. But we just need to be able to all embrace it.